Pure Class A, high voltage, ultra live and direct. This is Bondi Radio.
Well, we're very pleased to have in the studio DrRomanRajek. How are you?
Good, thanks. Thank you.
Well, thanks for coming in this hot, sunny Sydney morning. How did a chiropractor end up as a health tech?
Well, I've been a practicing chiropractor for over 33 years, and what I've seen consistently is how much people struggle to access care when they need it, as well as there's travel time, delays, there are long waiting lists, it takes a few days for people to see a practitioner, there are scheduling problems, and we usually see people in pain ending up in emergency departments. And I was thinking there has to be a better way. So Back2U wasn't so much a tech idea, it was more of a clinical one. It grew out of real stories, real patients, and real barriers to care.
So what actually sparked the idea for Back2U?
It actually started a few years ago. The thought of this, you could probably say by default, it was a few years ago, I actually hurt my back one evening. It was late at night, and I moved a couch and my back went and I couldn't move. It was about 10 p.m. and I thought, what am I going to do? I can't go anywhere. Everything's closed. I knew that there's no point going to a hospital because there's nothing they would do either. I'd be there for hours. In the end, they'd send me home with some painkillers. So I knew that, well, either I self-medicate, go to bed, I'm going to have a terrible night, and then tomorrow I'll have to call around and see if I can get in somewhere ASAP. And then the thought just hit me. I thought, how good would it be if there was an app that I could just hit that app like an Uber, call someone to come over immediately.
That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
And that's where it came from.
That's where it came from. And why were you moving the couch at 10 p.m? You were sitting on the couch all night, enjoying watching the telly, and you just thought, do you know what? It's a minute to 10. I think I'll just jump up and move the couch into a different position. What's that all about?
Oh, it's just stupidity. I want to move the couch. And that's when I just realised, accessibility is the real issue. If care could come to me or to the patient, outcomes would have been much better. And that's the moment when Back2U was born.
And did you imagine yourself running a tech startup business?
No, not at all. Not at that time. But I did imagine a world where people could access the right practitioner faster. Technology is just the bridge that makes that possible.
Yeah, especially with AI and stuff, all these things coming now, it's just going to be instantaneous. You just get what you want straight away, which is what you need. I mean, I think it's great.
Correct.
So let's explain to everybody what exactly is Back2U.
Back2U is an on-demand mobile app that lets people book an APRA-registered physiotherapist, chiropractor or osteopath to come to them, whether they're at home or at work or at a hotel. It's pretty much wherever the consumer is at any time. So if people are traveling, long-haul flights, they're checking into hotels, they can order on the app for a practitioner of their choice to come to the room to give them a treatment. So it's an on-demand. Mobile care has been around for years, but not via an on-demand app.
Right. And so do you have lots of staff that work for you then? So that, what happens if you get like 5 bookings on one day?
Currently,
do you just have people who just drop everything and run?
Absolutely. I mean, we have been live on the App Store and Google Play since the 3rd of September. We are currently onboarding practitioners. In Australia, across Australia, there are approximately 50,000 registered practitioners.
Wow.
Yes, so we are currently onboarding as many as we can. The feedback is overwhelming.
I'm sure they'll be loving to do it because they could just be going about their daily stuff, doing something else. They might not be always in a studio or anything like that, or working. They could be at home doing something, and they just get the message, and then away they go.
Well, it's essentially becoming, because it's a free membership for practitioners. So it's essentially them becoming like an Uber driver.
Yeah.
They just have to turn off their notifications, and If they get a notification for a job, it's up to them to take it or not. Great for new graduates, people fresh out of university. They don't have a job yet. So ideal for them. Ideal for practitioners who'd like to supplement their income. I've been a practitioner for so many years, and I've seen that, with the overheads of rent and staffing and insurances and leases, you've got costs. This way, you have no costs at all. So it won't be for everybody, but there's a lot of practitioners who out there, and the semi-retired ones who still want to have their foot in the door seeing patients. It's ideal for them.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. I think it's great. And it's funny that you mentioned Uber, because I did a quick Google search earlier, and it does compare you to Uber, doesn't it?
Yes, look, in the sense that you can see who is available. You can book quickly and get help fast, then yes. But clinically, it is very different. Every practitioner is vetted by myself. They must be insured and registered. They must provide a police record check, photo ID, provide their indemnity licensing, their APRA registration. So it's a very, very thorough vetting system that we have.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So who is Back2U designed for?
It's pretty much for everybody. We see shift workers, office workers, busy parents, mothers with newborns who can't get out to see anybody. They can have someone come to them. Aged care, nursing homes, the elderly, they can't go to see a practitioner. They could have them coming to them. We're really focusing on the corporates at the moment, because employers don't like when employees leave work to take a few hours or half a day off to go out to see a practitioner. So if we can have a practitioner come to the office place, to a designated area, and treat them there, it would be more ideal. There's so many positives out of that. And in addition, athletes. So it's really for everyone. Nowadays, we have the problem of tech neck or text neck, you want to call it. So you have a lot of the students, the forward head carriage. It's really for everybody.
Yeah.
Really
so
is.
what sort of conditions do people come to you with?
Neck pain, back pain, headaches, postural issues, things like slip discs, conditions whereby people would go to a physiotherapist or a chiropractor. It's exactly the same. But the incidence of, as I mentioned, things like neck and so on has increased through this digital age. So it's and athletes as well. Yeah. Post workouts, having it in the comfort of their own home.
So let's talk about the tech neck thing. So that's what I believe is when you're basically using your phone too much. You're always leaning forward, or you're on a screen.
Correct.
And is it true that I just heard this, I don't know if this is true, but I thought that the kids are starting to get like an extra bone or something that's going to grow there in the future, so that they're bending forward.
It changes the structure of the spine. Our neck, we're meant to have a C shape, like a letter C. You're looking side on. You're meant to have like a letter C, the C shape. By putting the head forward, in other words, imagine your chin to the chest, head down all the time. It will eventually, over time, change that structure, and it'll straighten that curve, causing undue pressure on discs and ligaments and nerves and muscles, and all sorts of headaches down the track.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the incidence of neck issues in adolescence is amazing, and the awareness really needs to be increased. Whether there'll be a solution to that in the future, who knows?
The only solution I can think of, that I've only just thought of just now, but I mean, I guess they'll just get the phone put into glasses, or, put into sunglasses or something, so that you can be looking through them at the same time whilst you're actually, I don't know, reading your text message or something.
Meta will come up with something. Yeah.
Or stick it in your pocket. I hate seeing people crossing the road, with their head down, just looking at a phone constantly.
Correct.
Annoys me.
Correct.
That's because I'm old, I guess. But I mean, it just doesn't get to me. So that's it's really interesting how that's actually changing how I don't know, I guess how we're all going to look in the future. I mean, if everybody's going to keep doing that for the next 50 years, we're all going to be bent over.
Well, there's a lot of work for patients to do, and it's really education. They need to be doing things. Schools need to implement some programs as well. There are some software type of devices that people can wear just to notify them that their head's gone forward. In terms of treatment, it's going to be the old-fashioned, trying to restructure the neck and put it in the correct position.
Geez, you'll probably find that what will happen is the kids will be doing it on their phone all day, but then they'll come home and they'll have to put like a stick or a plate down their back, so they've sit straight in the house for 2 hours afterwards to try and compensate for it and stuff. And that's what happens. If you're on your phone all day, you've got to come back and sit in this chair for 3 hours and be
ergonomically, things have changed too, because you've got kids that will come home from school and will just lie out on the couch on their iPads, on their phones. No one sits up straight anymore. So ergonomically, things have changed. It's a different culture of the way people see their posture. People have this perception that if they don't have any pain, that they don't have any problems. And I used to always tell people, you can actually be walking around with a problem. For example, scoliosis, which is curvature of the spine. That's a huge spinal problem, but it doesn't necessarily give pain until later in life.
Right, okay.
And then people think, oh, my pain comes and goes. Pain doesn't come and go. Okay? The problem's always been there. You just didn't do anything about it when you were young.
Right. So should people go and get a checkup?
Absolutely.
Even if they don't have any pain then?
That's what practitioners advocate. All Prevention is better than cure. I tell my patients, I used to tell them, it's interesting the mindset of human beings. We'll service our car, even if there's nothing wrong. We won't wait for smoke to come from the engine, but we'll service our car every year or every 6 months. Why? Because that's just how people think.
If you want to keep the car on the road, you want to keep
Why
it working.
do people, go for dental checkups? Why don't you just wait for a toothache? It's the same thing. Why don't you get your spine checked? People think, well, it doesn't hurt. That's just the mindset that we're in.
Yeah.
Until it's too late. So as practitioners, we try to advocate prevention better than cure. Get it checked. The practitioner will then tell you, yeah, you're fine. See you in 6 months' time. But people don't do that. They'll wait until, my neck hurts, my back hurts. And then they're told by a practitioner, we need to see you a few times, and people get upset. Well, why? Well, because you've left it. But then there's that, but I never had a problem. Well, you didn't know you had a problem. Did you ever have spinal x-rays? No. So it's just the mindset. People will put these importance on servicing their car and, brushing their teeth or going for dental checkups and checking everything except their neck and back.
Wow. Okay, so and how do people get in contact to do that? Can you just do that
they have to.
App?
Yeah, the app is now available on the App Store and Google Play, so it's a free download. Everyone can just download that. And as I said, we are onboarding practitioners currently. So it's a very, very simple procedure.
So what are the risks of delaying if getting your back fixed? I mean, if say you've got no problems with it just now, but you get a little twinge and then you go and get it checked up and you find that if you'd come 5 years ago, it was a very simple fix, it was just a case of sitting up straight, or I don't know, but I mean, it could be something simple to fix if you catch it early, but then if you let it go for later, then that's it.
Correct. If you have a problem that you don't really know about, problems progress. They don't go away. They slowly progress over time until something called inflammation sets in. And that's the indicator that tells the brain something's wrong. So by delaying treatment, you're prolonging the issue. Inflammation sets in. Recovery takes a lot longer. And then you've always got the risk of potentially hearing a specialist say we need to operate.
And that's nobody wants to hear that.
Well, no.
No, of course not. You know
No.
that.
I had many patients with scoliosis, and it was just a slight, because your spine should be dead straight.
Is that what scoliosis is?
Yes, a curvature. It's like an S.
And does it go forward? Yes.
It's three-dimensional, so it goes forward. So it's meant to, if you look at somebody from behind, it's meant to be the spine dead straight. So scoliosis is just a curvature, like an S curvature. And there are many different types of scoliosis. Some people are born with it. They don't know about it. Others develop over time. If you break a leg, or it shortens the leg and things compensate and so on.
God.
Yeah. So the sooner that you detect that, the better it is. Some early scoliosis can be treated very quickly. Others, if they're left too late, surgically.
I am 100% going to get checked. I love things like this, because as soon as I hear about it, that's it. I'll be booking in tomorrow to get this checked. That's it. That's what I'm like. So what are the risks of delaying treatment?
Well, as I mentioned, if you delay the treatment, the risk is you'd probably end up in emergency,
Right, that's when you
in
get
hospital, and you could be looking at some sort of surgical intervention if you leave it too long, and it can cause a lot of other problems as well. The spine controls the central nervous system. Central nervous system, all our nerves control the whole body. You know, in the middle of the back, we have 12 bones in the middle, therefore 12 nerves, and people don't know this, but the nerves control, for example, our breathing, our stomach, our heartbeat. It controls all the organs. So, you know, if people don't get their spines checked, or they have pain and they just keep popping, because tablets don't fix anything. They're a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
So by taking the painkillers, you're masking
Pain.
the pain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So ultimately,
you think you're better, but you're not. It's still,
if you
it's still there,
delay
you feel it.
treatment, I'd say to people, isn't it better to see somebody, even if it's once a month or once every 6 months, just for a checkup?
Definitely.
And that professional will tell you, you're fine for another 6 months.
Or
You
it could
won't
be another
have-
year. It could be another year.
Unless you
know,
have a fall or you pick up a heavy couch at 10 p.m. like I did.
well, I mean, we're all doing that. I mean, set our alarms. Everybody set your alarm for 10 p.m. and move your couch tonight.
Correct.
Why does mobile care make such a difference?
When you're seen in your own environment, the practitioner can identify the real triggers, your workstation, your posture, your daily habits. When you're in pain, nobody really wants to be stuck in the car or in traffic on their way to an appointment, especially public transport. I've seen it many times before that even by the time a patient gets home from one of my treatments, they've undone much of the improvement. So having mobile care, it's a lot more convenient.
Yeah.
To have it done at home or at the hotel or wherever you are.
Does it change the outcome if you get it done at home?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, you have a treatment at home, even if it's say at night, and you can go straight to bed. You don't have to worry about all the travel time coming home and doing something wrong. Sometimes you're not meant to do much, just go straight to bed and lie down and have a rest.
And I guess you've got the comfort of your own home. You know, you feel comfortable. You know, if you want, you can have a cup of tea. You know, whatever. You know, you can
absolutely,
just
and that's the way it's going. I mean, like I mentioned, mobile practitioners have been around for a few years, and it's growing. So it's obviously the demand is there. The thing I was going to mention is that I was surprised when I looked at the research into this. Across Australia, on average, there are approximately 700,000 treatments done per week.
Wow, that's a huge
in clinic.
Wow.
So obviously there is a huge demand in Australia for therapies such as chiro or osteopaths or physiotherapists.
So there must be waiting lists for this then.
Oh, absolutely.
So this app's going to obviously sort that out.
Well,
then.
that's why it came about, because I thought and especially after hours, because when people finish work, 5:30, 6 o'clock, clinics are then closed as well. So people don't have that accessibility. How is it fair for people that can only see a practitioner from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. when clinics are open? What about after that?
Yeah.
What about all the people who can't leave work, who can't move, now they have this option of via an on-demand app. They can order someone, just like ordering Uber Eats. They can order it immediately or schedule a time for someone to come to them. And when you're in pain, you're all about convenience. You don't want to be there going through, looking up websites and calling around and who can come over and so on. You just want to have it very, very simple via an app.
Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it? I mean, I actually know a DJ friend of mine, and about 2 weeks ago, she was in the back garden and she was cutting the hedge or something. She was up on ladders and she fell off and landed on her back and she couldn't get up. She was lying there. She had her phone and stuff. She just had to phone a friend to come and help, but she could have just jumped straight on the app.
Correct.
I said, look, I'm lying in the back garden. I can't move. She lay there for ages before her friend could help get her back into the house. She's okay now, but I mean, a situation like that, it's not. I guess I don't know. It's not. You wouldn't. I guess you'd have to call an ambulance or something like that if you couldn't move. But I mean, if you could just call the chiropractor, and if you knew it was your back, she's had problems with her back before. So if she knew it was her back, she just didn't want to move or make anything worse, That's another issue, as you mentioned, calling an ambulance. Hospitals are getting annoyed. There are so many 000 calls made unnecessarily for musculoskeletal problems that hospitals don't treat. Right.
So people are going there, they're waiting for hours, then there's triaged, and then they're sent home. What a waste of time. Because people don't know that there is another option.
And how are the practitioners all responding to this model that you've got?
The response has been very, very overwhelming. It's very positive. They love the flexibility. They can choose their own hours. They can choose the locations and the types of patients that they see. So they, as I mentioned, great for new graduates, even for seasoned chiropractors and physiotherapists who want to have a change of scene. They're responding very, very well. Recently, I went to some of the university graduate employment evenings around the country to speak to the final year graduates. So they are definitely responding very well to this. They can't wait. I wish when I was younger and practicing that I had this option.
That'd be great.
Even to pick up some weekend work.
Yeah. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah. So the feedback.
It's the flexibility,
Absolutely.
That's it. Everybody's busy. They've got so many things that are happening today. If they can work it into their
and they can choose
day,
their own hours. They might say, you know what, I'm going to turn my notifications on from, 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. Just work, 3 days a week for those 6 hours.
And how do you find that the customers are taken to it? I mean, surely some of them must be a little bit wary about having people come into their home and stuff like that. Has that been a thing with you? I mean, certainly the elderly. I mean, I think, them just using an app and, how do I get somebody to come? Is it a number that they can call as well, or is it just all through the app?
It's all through the app.
Right.
There is, it's very, very user-friendly, and safety is our highest priority. As I mentioned before, every practitioner is ARPA registered. They're insured and clinically vetted. They have to upload all of their documentation to be accepted by the app. We check these rigorously and reassured that the right people are being sent to patients. On the app itself, on both ends, user end and practitioner end, there's a consent form for both. So when they meet, when the practitioner comes and knocks on somebody's door, both have to consent prior to treatment, and upon ending the treatment, they have to consent to being satisfied with the treatment as well. Yeah. So safety is very, very...
Yeah, and peace of mind as well. And
absolutely.
Of course, but I mean, obviously in this day and age, everything is kind of checked and double-checked and stuff like that. So people don't have to worry about anything
absolutely.
like that. But I can imagine elderly people would be a bit wary with people coming to the house,
And there's photo ID on there, so the consumer can see the practitioner and read about them, their bio before they're coming.
And how do you ensure quality outside the traditional clinic?
Our practitioners bring portable, high-grade clinic equipment with them. Session lengths are longer, allowing for thorough assessment and treatment. We also have a rating system, like any other app. Patients will give their practitioner and experience a star rating. Likewise, a practitioner will do the same for the patient. So it's a very transparent ecosystem in that sense, and there's no room for a subpar experience from either side.
And is there any myths about neck pain or back pain or anything that you can kind of put to rest? That people always think.
Yes, there is. The myth that I want to really dispel is that people think that pain magically will disappear if you ignore it. Doesn't disappear.
No, I'm pretty sure that doesn't work.
Pain is there for a reason. It's actually tells our brain that something is wrong. So it's the cliche, fix the problem, not pain. So this myth about back pain, neck pain, that it'll go away. I hear people all the time, it comes and goes, or it'll go away. Pain might come and go. Problems don't come and go. They're always there.
Or maybe the body just started to getting used to it. Is a pain that's always there.
Don't wait for pain.
So what do people underestimate?
They underestimate how much things like stress, sleep, and hydration influence pain. Very important. 3 key factors. Stress is a huge factor. People have to get enough sleep, and hydration. Very, very important. So never underestimate these 3 particular things. If you ignore these things, if you don't get enough sleep, you don't hydrate the body enough. I mean, we are made of 70% water.
Yeah.
So we have to hydrate ourselves, and the biggest cause is stress. Manage stress. Do whatever it takes. Stress is the one that will cause all the buildup of lactic acid into the body, toxins, and hence pain.
Jeez. And I guess when you're stressed, is it because you're more tense and more uptight and stuff? I don't know. Is that because your muscles are all tighten up, is it?
Correct.
Got any memorable patient moments? Anybody that's come in with anything?
Oh, I've got a few.
Have you? I'm sure you have.
I do have a few. In particular, there was a father of 3, and he couldn't bend. He was in so much pain, he couldn't bend up his kids while on holiday. 3 little kids couldn't pick them up. He did a movement. Sometimes it just takes a sneeze in the shower, and you can slip a disc, herniate, compress a disc. It means that your back has been weak for a long time that you didn't know about. In this particular case, he did a movement. He literally couldn't move. He's on holidays with his 3 kids, could not move. So we arranged one mobile treatment, went to where he was, changed his whole week.
Well, I mean, he was there with his kids. I guess the kids were pretty young, and he was on his own, was he? Just with the kids?
Yeah, over the weekend, everything's closed. What are you going to do?
Jeez, and what could he do?
He got someone to go to where he was, fixed him up. He could spend the weekend with his kids.
Wow.
I mean, right.
That's well done, yeah. But he was pleased, but he's signed up, but he comes back every 6 months for a checkup, that guy, for sure.
Where can you go on a Sunday when everything is closed? How good if someone can come to you on a Sunday?
That's, yeah. And is there different rates then, for example, if it is a Sunday? Yeah, so
yeah,
I mean, if it's
absolutely.
Week, I mean, obviously that's out of off hours and out of hours and stuff like that. But I mean,
absolutely.
Nobody's really caring about that. You just want to get fixed.
When you're in pain, you'll pay, and also we have to be realistic. If somebody wants a practitioner of their choice to come out, say on a Sunday at 11 p.m., well, you're going to have to be realistic, and you'll pay the price. Our fee structure is very comparable during the day, during the week, at what people would regularly spend if they were going somewhere. But on the weekends and the later it is at night, the price does change yet.
So what's the biggest challenge been so far with Back2U?
Building that awareness initially and earning the trust of our practitioner and patient base. That's pretty much.
Yeah.
That's really all.
Well, I guess it's a big step to be putting it all together, which is great. So have you got any plans what you're going to be doing next?
National expansion. At the moment, we're just starting with the Sydney metropolitan area. So national expansion, and then more tools to help people manage pain earlier. down the track, we'll probably think about broadening our allied health offering to more modalities. But for now, we just want to grow and refine the physiotherapy and chiropractic and osteo space.
Right. And how do customers know that it's going to be right for them using Back2U?
If pain is affecting their life daily and they can't get to a clinic, then an on-demand mobile app will help.
Okay, great. And how fast can somebody be seen if they want to get somebody?
Often same day, sometimes within an hour or two. This time frame will improve with more practitioners that we're onboarding. The aim is to be as soon as possible, real time. So, if you look at when Uber started, when somebody called an Uber, it was, I think, 35 or 45-minute wait. Now it's 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah, a couple of guys who, one's in North Sydney, one's in Bondi. They've got to get to wherever you are.
Absolutely. So
now they're all over,
You do, when you download the app, you do have the options of, you can pick the gender, you can pick a male or female practitioner, it gives you the choice. It even gives you the choice of how many years experience you want the practitioner to have. And you have the choice of as soon as possible, which could mean within an hour, or you can schedule a time. When you get back from work, you can say, I want someone to be there at 8 o'clock at my door.
That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
And where can people find you?
On the App Store, or visit our website, back2u.com.au.
Brilliant. Any final advice for the listeners?
Listen to your body earlier. Small steps now will prevent bigger problems later. And if you're a qualified practitioner, download the app today. It's a free download and join us. You might just find that this mobile way or working is a new and exciting way to grow your business.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, and Back2U's mission in one sentence. Let's do it in one sentence if you can.
To make high quality musculoskeletal care accessible, flexible, and responsive wherever you are, whenever you need it.
Brilliant. Okay, well, that's excellent. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
And enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Broadcasting from the world-famous Bondi Beach, this is Bondi Radio.